Hello, everyone. This is Dan Hollings. I'm here for Stomper Mobile session number 5. If you can hear me, if someone could please type into the message. Okay, great. Okay, we've had so many technical difficulties with audio in the past. I'm hoping we'll be good. All right. No more messages needed. I know you can hear me. We'll be starting in just a few moments. We're going to be covering session number 5. I hope everyone had a good break last week. I know I did. In fact, I have a new eyeball. Actually, I had to have an intraocular lens replacement in my right eye, and I can now see like a hawk in that eye. And in a few weeks, I'm going to have the left eye done, and I'll be able to see in both. So if anybody's considering that type of surgery, I would highly recommend it. And that's what I did last week. So hopefully your week was a little more exciting than that. Just a reminder for folks that are just now coming in on the call, we'll be starting in a few moments. I want to highlight the fact that the Stomper Mobile Forum is the place to be. There is so much incredible information there. I post quite a bit in the forum, but more important than that, the shared posts of fellow Stomper Mobile members are incredible, absolutely incredible. So make sure that you log into the forum from time to time, read through the posts, ask questions. There's several sections, the home section, the blog section. Here's the blogs. Also have the forums. There's a lot going on there. And by the way, there are a few people that still need Google Voice invites. Please, if you have Google Voice, log into your Google Voice system, and you'll find that on the left-hand column there is they will allow you to share or give away a few invites. If you could share your invites with a few, there's a few people that still, especially people that are in other countries outside of the United States, they're in desperate need of Google Voice invites, and if you could share those, it would be appreciated. The requests are in the Stomper Mobile forum area. There's one right at the top. You see it right there. So please do that. That would be a very kind thing to do. And then there's the media area. Okay, and there's all of the media, all of the webinars and the PDFs and things of that nature in that area. I do also want you to know that once this presentation is over, as is the case with all of our presentations, I try to get the PDF of the slides uploaded the same evening. So the PDF of the slides will be posted shortly after I present. And then also related media, be it PDFs, are posted immediately as well. In fact, this week I've actually posted a PDF of call to action guidelines and phrases that I'll be covering later in the session. That's already in the Stomper Mobile forum area. So if you want to pick that up, you can. It's under the media tab. We're going to be going through that thoroughly tonight. And the webinar recording, that too is posted, but it takes a while. And I apologize for that, but because the sessions have been running from 90 minutes, sometimes well over 2 hours, our video team, or I should say the StomperNet video team, has to wait until they receive it from GoToMeeting, and then they have to, or GoToWebinar, and they have to sometimes edit it, do things of that nature. And so sometimes it can take actually a day or two before it's posted. So I apologize for that, but they are all posted. Also, there were several people this week, I saw your messages, and I think it's wonderful that because you had a break, actually went back and re-listened to some of the earlier presentations. As is the case with everything, if you listen to it 2-3 times, you will definitely pick up more and more and more. There's a lot of subtle information sometimes I share that you'll miss the first time through, and sometimes you're just not ready for it. In other words, now that we're in session 5, some of the things that I talked about in session 1 might make more sense. When we get to session 10, some of the things I talk about today in session 5 may make more sense. So make sure you go back and listen as much as you can. I know it's a lot of material, but folks, you are at the starting point, the precipice of a huge opportunity, and I am hearing stories that just blow me away, both from Stomper Mobile students and just people in general that are in mobile. It's just a great place to be, and I really appreciate it when you share stories. There's several kind of superstars that have kind of been highlighted in the forum area, so go in there and dig around and you'll find out that about that as well. And then don't forget that we have the Posterous blog. Actually, we're running 2 of those for case studies and for sharing articles and resources and things of that nature. So with that in mind, I think most everyone is probably logged on by now. So why don't we get started? We have an interesting session tonight. We've been talking about traffic and getting mobile traffic on and off throughout all of the sessions, because I'm a strong believer that it doesn't matter how great your site is or what you're selling or even how good your conversion is. If you don't have any traffic, it just doesn't matter. You know, traffic is like #1 on the list. So I do try to spend a lot of time on traffic, so tonight we're going to cover traffic again as it weaves into the topics that were in our outline. This particular week, though, the topic is so significant that I'm going to spend most of the time talking about only one tip, and it has to do with getting your mobile site into the mobile search engines and mobile search directories, which is relatively easy to do, but you just need to be prepared, and you also need to know the places to go. And it's crazy, but it is really difficult to find the best places to go. So I'm just going to point you in the right direction so that this session alone will save you probably a month of work in trying to figure it out. And you'll just be able to go and actually register your site in these various places. Keep in mind that mobile is not like Internet, especially in the area of SEO. Now, as we move down the road, some things may get to be more like that, but all of the things such as backlink building and all of that, it's really not that important yet. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that, because I think you could start doing it now, and it will in time probably have great effect. I think that many of the SEO strategies that are good for regular PC-based sites will certainly apply to mobile as we go down the road, and really in particular local search engine strategies will apply to mobile. But where we stand today is a simplistic form of SEO that will do really a pretty good job of getting you up and seen out there. We're kind of like, if you can remember back, it's kind of like the days before Google, when all there was Yahoo, and what else was around back then? I can't remember. Alta Vista maybe. But it was more of a directory world. And it's not quite that antiquated, but that's really kind of what it is. There are a lot of mobile directories that are just really important that you need to be in. So anyway, with that as a backdrop, let's jump into this. And we're going to talk about more mobile marketing and mobile traffic strategies. Up through last week, I had covered about 14 traffic strategies. All right? So tonight what we're going to start with is number 15, and number 15 is the only one that we're going to cover tonight. So everything we're going to be talking about is merely mobile traffic strategy number 15. And I've got about 28 of these that we'll get to throughout the whole session, maybe more, but that's how many I'm sure we'll get to. The first thing is this, and nothing to do here really at this point. You'll have these URLs when you get the slides. And by the way, when I do put the slides in the Stomper Mobile forum, they're in a PDF format, and all of the links are hyperlinked so that you can just open up the PDF and actually click on these links that you see now on the screen, and you'll be able to go straight to where you need to go. So unless you just love to take notes, please don't sit there and try to write out all these big, long URLs. You'll have access to them immediately after the presentation tonight. I will upload the the presentation immediately. Anyway, what you want to do first is you want to submit your site to what I call the big dogs: Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Now, I know there are some other kind of big dogs out there, and we're going to cover them in a moment. But these three are really core, and so these are the URLs that you need to go to. And I got to tell you, it's hard to find these URLs. You know, I don't know why they make it so hard, but there they are. So all you're going to have to do is just click on them and go over there. However, before you go over there, you will most likely need to do a few more little SEO tweaks to your mobile site to make sure that it's ready. Because as soon as you submit your site, eventually they'll come and spider it. And when they spider it, you need to have some of your SEOing already done. And that's pretty easy to do. If you're using the MobiSite Galore system, what you'll do once you log in, as soon as you log in, if you look over in the left-hand column, you'll see a list of all of the navigational features that are available for you. And one of them is highlighted here with the red arrow, is Optimize for Search Engines. And as soon as you click on Optimize for Search Engines, then it will pull up a page that looks like what you see on the right side of the screen, which is the optimization page. All this is letting you do is to control your title and meta tags. That's really what it is. And the amount of space that's available in these input boxes is very limited. So you probably will not be able to get a 3-word keyword phrase in. It just won't fit under the title area. There's just not that much room. Now, the reason they make them so short isn't so much because the search engine couldn't deal with it. It's because only so much will fit on the mobile screen. And I'm talking about the title now, what we see right here let's see if I can get it, yeah, here in this column. All right. What you put here should be a keyword phrase that's related directly to the page that the title appears on. Now, if you want to know what the title is, if you ever go to a website or your mobile website, if you're on a computer, if you look up at the very tippy top of your web browser, not on the page itself, but at the top, it's usually up above where the URL or address is, the title is displayed up there. And that title is the most important thing in SEO, both for PC sites as well as mobile sites. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you just nail what each page in your site is about. If I were you, I would do kind of some light keyword research to figure out what are the main keywords about your product, service, or your site. You may have already done some of this work on your PC site, so what you can do is just boil it down. And you need to come up with a killer keyword or keyword phrase for each page in your mobile site. So if you have a 10-page mobile site, then you would come up with 10 keywords, and you would put those in the title right here in the MobiSite Galore. Now, if you're not using MobiSite Galore, whatever system that you're using will likely have a place for you to input your title, or if you're doing it yourself or having a developer do it, just have them go into the code itself and in the title tags enter in your keyword phrases. Now, here's the trick. The keyword phrase needs to be about what's on the page, and it's advisable that that same keyword phrase also is somewhere in the text on that page. In other words, if you say the title of your page is Blue Butterflies, and then the page talks about green caterpillars, there's a mismatch there. In other words, the search engines want to see that the title that you put on your page indeed is what you talk about on the page. All right? This is a real simplistic explanation of this, but that's easy enough, said and done. So just make sure you don't put a keyword phrase up there that doesn't appear anywhere on the page. And it's always best if your keyword phrase is in a header or a header tag. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. I would say to keep it simple, just come up with a good 1, 2, or short 3-word keyword phrase related to the page, and put it in here, and then make sure that keyword phrase is also somewhere on the page, and then you'll be good to go. So in this little example here, I have only 4 pages, so I would put in my keyword phrase here that has to do with my home page. I'd put in some keyword phrase here that has to do with About Us, and so be it. Now, I know it gets tricky because, you know, for example, About Us, you'd love for the page to actually say About Us, but guess what? About Us has no meaning to anyone when it comes to a search. It's just like the word home. You know, if somebody goes to your home page, are they reading about homes? No, they're not. It really has no meaning, so that's why a keyword phrase is your best bet there, all right? All right, enough on that. Over here where it says description, you're going to want to put in a 1-sentence or just a couple of short sentences, a really short description here. Short wins the day. Again, this will eventually pull up in a search engine, but think more of it pulling up in a search engine when a person's looking at it on their mobile phone. So short is just it. If you can get this thing into like a 10-word sentence, you're gold. All right? And the description needs to be very descriptive of what your page is about. And if you can squeeze in a few keyword or keyword phrases, then more power to you. That's a really good thing to do. Also, when it comes to keyword phrases and descriptions and even the text on your page, if you have a local business, it's imperative that you include your location in as many places as you possibly can. And the description would be a wonderful place to put it. It just won't fit in the title, unfortunately, with a mobile site. But it will fit in the description. You might be able to get it into the keyword phrases, and definitely put it on every page in your site, your location. That is, if your business is one where people need to know the location. All right? Even if they don't go to your business, let's say you're a plumber. Maybe they don't come to your business, but they want to know that you're a plumber in their community. You've got to have the location. All right? Now, you also need to make sure that that location includes the service areas that you cover. In your particular area, wherever you're at, you may want to get a little short list of the different towns or communities or service areas that you cover, and try to work those into your page. Okay. Somebody texted me. I just wanted to make sure everything's still okay. Okay. Also, zip codes. If you're a location-based business, I would definitely consider putting zip codes into your descriptions and what have you. Here's the way you solve the problem, and I can hear you without hearing you. Everybody's saying, well, heck, Dan, I've got at least 10 good keyword phrases related to my business, and I service, 15 different areas, different, cities or communities or what have you. I cover, 5 different zip codes. I can never fit all of that stuff in here. Well, what you do is you just keep creating pages. If you service 14 different zip codes, I would create 14 different pages, one for each zip code. All right? So there's no limit on the number of pages, so don't just get all bent out of shape trying to squeeze keywords into your title and your description and your meta tags. If they don't fit, they don't fit. Just create another page. All right? Now, right now, duplicate content isn't like a big issue with mobile, but I don't recommend you do it. What you would do is just create a page that's a variation of whatever is needed to express what it is that you do in that particular area. All right? Don't do a bunch of duplicate pages. You can change them a little bit, and then that'll give you the ability to cover all of your zip codes and things of that nature. Okay, got it? And that's it. If you happen to have landing pages, which are separate pages that are allowed by the MobiSite Galore system, you can put them down there. Now, one update on MobiSite Galore, I'll be announcing the details of it next week. I thought I'd have it for you tonight, and they weren't able to get it done. But as you know, MobiSite Galore, when I first introduced it to everyone, was 100% free. It allowed you to download the sites. It was everything that you could possibly want to get a good, basic mobile site up that would work on all the different mobile platforms. And wouldn't you know that, like, within about 5 or 10 days after I announced it to everyone, they changed their whole pricing model. They had been free for years. And luckily, I know the owner, all right? It's not like a personal friend or whatever. It's actually a corporation, and I'm not sure what country he's from, but I know him because I've reached out to him many, many times over the years and offered suggestions and ideas and just tried to become a friend so that, someday when I needed a favor, I'd have it. Well, that time came because I realized that when they created their pricing model, they didn't really price it in a way that worked for people like you and I and most of the people that are in the Stomper Mobile course. So anyway, I've talked to them, and they were as kind as they could possibly be, and they are setting up a special version of their system exclusively for students of mine, and that means you guys. What MobiSite Galore has decided to do is I laid out what I thought that we needed. They are going to a paid model, and I do understand that. I think the highest level that they have is like 16 or 17 bucks, something like that, a month, which is pretty darn reasonable. But the problem is you could only have one domain, one website, and you couldn't download the site and put it on your own server. Bummer. That's not good. So here's what they're going to do, and I think it's great. It'll probably be available by next week. For the top level pricing, $17 a month, you will be able to have up to 3 domains hosted on their server, if you would like. Before it was just 1. You can have up to 3, which would allow you to have your .mobi, your transition page, and 1 landing page hosted on their servers using your domain or their domain, if you like. So that solves it for people who don't want to get into hosting anything on their own. However, if you want to download the site and put it on your own server, you will be able to do that, okay, as a student of mine. And by the way, they don't have an affiliate program. I don't get paid anything at all from MobiSite Galore. This is just being done because they realize it's the right thing to do. Now, I'm not sure. I don't think they're going to offer this out to the public, so you guys are going to have a very special version of MobiSite Galore. As soon as I get the sign-up information and what have you, I'll be passing that along. And they've assured me that if you've already built a site, that they will help get that site that you built in their regular system transitioned over so that it will pull up in the new system without you having to go in and actually change anything. So they're bending over backwards to make this right. Another thing that they're going to offer is they're going to offer a version for consultants or developers if you have multiple businesses that you're wanting to provide sites for. And I think it's a good idea. What they're going to do is for $99 a month, they will give you a special system that will let you build and maintain up to 25 separate sites. So what that means is if you do the math, it works out to be about $4 a site per month to do this. So that means if you went out and you had 25 businesses that wanted you to build their website, for $100 you could charge them, I don't know, $20 a month, $15 a month for managing and running their mobile site, and it's only going to be costing you $4 in order to have that done. So I think this is a really, really good situation because I've played around with a lot of the mobile website builders out there, and there are other good ones, don't get me wrong, but MobiSite is the simplest, that covers all of the mobile platforms, and it has a lot of goodies and things in there as you actually can see on the screen on the left side. If you click through that, you'll find it's a really good value. So anyway, that's what's coming with MobiSite Galore. So you'll have the option to either, if you just want to do your own site, you could download it, or you can have it hosted on their servers, $17 a month, something like that. If you're a consultant, you're going to be doing this for a lot of others. You'll be able to run up to 25 sites. And I think the way it's going to work, just so you know, is like, what happens if you build somebody a site and they pay you for a few months and then they quit? You could go into the system, just delete their site or download it and just archive it on your hard drive or something. And once you get rid of it, then that opens up a spot so that you could add a new business in there, so that you could always have 25 active sites going on. And yes, you can download the sites once you've got them built. You can put them on your client server or on your server, and they'll run and they'll work fine. And anytime you need to edit, you just go back into the MobiSite Galore, do all of your edits, download a fresh site, and then put the fresh one in, or upload the fresh one onto your server to replace the old one. So that's the way it will work. Okay? So that's good news. Okay, now, as we continue along the pathway of getting your site positioned to be found in all the search engines, these are the big brands that you should start playing around with from the consumer side. All right? Right this moment, I'm not talking about where you submit your site. I gave you 3 places to submit earlier, and I'm going to give you some more in just a moment. But you need to experience this the way that the end user experiences it, so that you can begin to think ways to take advantage of this, ways to optimize your site, what you need to do in order to give your mobile customers and mobile visitors, the best possible view. So in order to do that, you'll pull out your mobile phone and go to google.mobi, go to yahoo.mobi, go to msn.mobi, go to bing.mobi, go to aol.mobi, and go to m.ask.com. And take a look, do some searches, and just get a feel for how those systems work. And in the back of your mind, be thinking, my customer may be using yahoo.mobi, and if my site is here, I'm looking at listings. I can see that there's only so many characters that are showing up on the description. Just start making some casual observation about that end-user experience so that you can adjust your site for the best optimized display within these various search engines. Okay? Now, I've looked, and I can't find it. And if anybody in the class can find it, please help me. I cannot figure out where you submit sites for AOL.mobi, and I cannot figure out where you submit sites for m.ask.mobi. All right? I just cannot find it, and I've looked for a long time. It may be out there, but they're perhaps getting their sites from someplace else, or they just don't have a submission tool anyplace. If anybody knows, let me know, and I'll be glad to post it. Okay. So, I actually didn't mention it, but there are actually 5 categories of mobile search engines that we're going to be dealing with. So the first one that we just covered is really kind of the big brand names, the big dogs, the Yahoos, the Bings, the Googles, all right? The second category are the white label providers. Basically, these are the companies that build search engine systems and provide them to the mobile operators who run their own brand name search engines. Okay? There are 2 that are at the top of the list that provide the systems for most of the mobile operators that are out there. One is Medio Systems, and the other is JumpTap. What's good is that if you submit or register your mobile site once with these systems, then they will get published into the white label operators' search engines, and you don't have to go out and chase down AT&T and T-Mobile and all the various different systems. Many of them are using these white label systems, and so by registering with them kind of at the top level, you'll automatically get pumped into all of the people who are using the white label system. So this is great. What you want to do is go to the Submit Site link, and you'll see that right here. And the other one is right here. You want to go there and enter in your site. Now, let's take a look at this. I'm going to actually click on this and go to one of them. This is the one for Medio. The reason I want to go here is because part of your preparation is going to be having stuff ready to fill these forms out. If you want this to go fast, because there's quite a few of these that are coming, if you want this to go fast, it'll just help if you go ahead and prepare your information up front. Most of the engines or search engines or directories, they're asking for pretty much the same thing. They want to know your company name. They'll want a very short site description. Again, keep it really short so that it'll work on mobile. They're obviously going to want all of your contact information. Okay. They're going to want to have your mobile website link right here. Keywords. 1, 2, maybe 3 keywords or keyword phrases. Keep it simple and short. Categories. The various different search engines and directories that are specializing in mobile all have a different list of categories, so there's no uniformity. So you just pick the one that works best. Okay, but you should think about what categories your site fits into. They also will let you type in one here if you'd like. And then some of them ask questions like, how many mobile impressions do you get? And I'm going to tell you the inside scoop here is you can put anything you want, but the only reason they want to know is because they in this case, they want to know if you're worth tracking down and them trying to sell you some ads. So, you know, that's really what that's all about. So you can mark something there. It doesn't really matter what you put. The next one is, do you have adult content? Either yes or no. Are you interested in serving ads? Again, either you are or you're not. And does your website run mobile ads? And again, if you're doing MobiSite Galore, you probably already noticed that you can add ads from Google, AdMob, and a couple other spots. So if you're doing ads, I guess they want to know that, and then they want to know additional contact information. So what I'm really emphasizing here is if you kind of get your ducks in a row before you go out to fill out these forms, it'll go a lot quicker. Go ahead and have a good title for your site. Make sure you got your URL handy, have a short site description and your keywords ready, and you'll be able to fill out these forms pretty darn quick. Okay. The next category of the 5, the third category, are your directory type sites. And there are many of these. I'm going to give you a sampling. And I would recommend that you go and submit your site to all of the ones that I have here in my samplings. There's actually 2 slides here of sample directory type sites. But you can perhaps find many more to submit your site to. Again, keep in mind, directories are a big thing in mobile. Okay? So don't ignore them. Don't think that it's like, you know, Yahoo and we don't bother doing that anymore. It's a big thing in mobile, so you want to get your site in as many of these directories as you can. One of them is called Seek for WAP. And remember, WAP stands for Wireless Application Protocol. It basically just means that something can be clicked on the screen when people see it on a mobile phone. So a lot of times when you see the word WAP, that's what that means. It has to do. It just means basically it's a wireless or mobile site. Okay, the next one is WAP Swap. There you'll want to visit the actual category, click on the link, and submit. Let me actually take a look at some of these. Okay, here's what it looks like. This is the, and many of these are going to look kind of funny on your computer screen because remember, they're meant for mobile. So anyway, you just put in all your information here, and you're all set. Hit Add Link, and you're good to go. And you can see categories. They've got different categories. Okay. All righty. WAP Swap. Here we go. That's this one. See how it's a real narrow site? It's meant for your mobile. Okay. Right down at the bottom, it says Add WAP Swap to your site. Okay. You can do that if you'd like. Okay, and WAP Review. This is a really good one. Make sure you don't miss this one. WAP Review has two mobile sites that you can take a look at, WAP Review and YesWAP, but you submit by going here to WAP Review, and they basically tell you their instructions, and down at the bottom, everything that you should submit is right there. But make sure you click on the mobile site directory and take a look at how they do this. It's basically, boys, see, this is old style. The news, the weather, sports, leisure, this is directory. That's what it is. I'm going to click on that. Now we have CNN, New York Times, Google News. Anybody know what this thing is right here? Aha, 2D barcode. Okay, and so be it, Yahoo News. But anyway, in order to get into this directory, they still do what Google used to do in the early days. They actually send human beings over to take a look at your site, and it's got to be, good stuff, or else it's not going to get in here. So it's worth a try, and I would certainly try to get in this if you could. Okay, let's take a look at some more. We're still in the third category. Mobile. You can submit your site right here. Okay, again, when this first pulls up, you're going to think, wait a minute, something's wrong with this site. Got all this blue over here. You know, something didn't load. That's not right. Actually, this is correct, because this is just for mobile. So that's the only part you'd see on your mobile. All right? So there it is. And then here's where you would submit your site, right down at the bottom. Okay? I really get a kick out of this, because I feel like I've jettisoned myself back to the 1960s or something. When you see this stuff, it's certainly not the type of high-tech SEO stuff that we deal with on PC. Okay, it's kind of fun. Okay, I won't go to all of these, but directory.mobi, that's another good one. Phonet, that's another good one. WAP All, that's another good one. Let's take a look at that. Okay, there's WAP All. Okay, just add your URL. Tells you exactly what to do. Let's see. Got Mobi Links, and then this one. If you can get in this one, you'll be doing really great. It's a showcase. It's called the MobiThink Showcase. Let's see, actually. Excuse me, I got to pop out of this and come back to it. Yeah, here it is. It appears that they feature, before you go and fill all of this out, and this is the case with all these search engines, spend a few moments clicking around and looking at how they present their sites before you fill the form out, so that you can optimize and maximize your site for how their system works. But like, I'll click on their showcase, and then very quickly you can see the types of sites that they feature. Okay, each one of these little boxes here is actually the site pulling into a little iframe window. So you can take kind of quick look through that, get a feel for what it's like, and then come back and actually fill out the form. All right, they too review their sites, and they only put in really good sites. And if your site is built at MobiSite Galore, it's going to definitely qualify. But many of these mobile search engines actually require that your site has gone through a mobile site tester to make sure that it's formatted in a way that will work on the majority of platforms. And there is that testing system inside the MobiSite Galore system, which ranks it and makes sure that it's mobile ready. Actually, you can see the link right here, Ready Mobi. And I'll show you this just in case you've built your site yourself or had a developer build it or some other using some other system. You're going to want to make sure that you go to Mobi Ready. That's right here, and enter in your URL. It will check your site and make sure that it is .mobi compliant and works on the various systems that are out there. If it doesn't work on the mobile phones, they're not going to put it in their directory. And so you want to make sure that you're getting a top rating there, generally a 4 or a 5 out of a 5 level rating. Okay. Let's go to the next one. The fourth area is that there is a smattering of consumer-oriented mobile search engines. I've given two examples here. One of them is Tap2, which is kind of cool, and the other is 4Info. And again, on this one, I've included the submit site for Tap2. I could not find where you would submit for 4Info. You might want to drop them a note and ask them. I really should have done that. I just haven't gotten around to it. But these are in the category of consumer-oriented mobile search. And so here is the submit your site for Tap2. And again, you might want to take a look at Tap2 before you submit your site so that you can see how it works. It's kind of an interesting model that they have, and it also works on smartphones like the iPhone and BlackBerry and stuff. Okay. The fifth area down at the bottom is that there are numerous niche players that focus on vertical sectors and catalog search. You're going to stumble upon these as you go along, and depending on what niche you're in, there's so many, you can determine what's good. You may also find a niche that's your specialty that does not have a mobile search directory. And it's not that difficult to set up a mobile search directory. There's software out there and freeware out there that you can get very inexpensively, and within a short period of time, an hour, you could have a little PHP directory system up and running, and you could just knock it out of the park for your niche, you know, whatever it might be. I'm tempted to name a few, but I'm going to name none, all right? Whatever it is that is your product line, your expertise, whatever it is, get online and just Google the heck out of it and see if you can find a mobile directory that is featuring websites that are for your audience. And if you can't find it, you've just found a hole that you can fill. And you can set this up really inexpensive. If you want to know where the software is, just do a quick search on Google for something like mobile site directory software or PHP script, directory script for mobile, things of that nature. There's not a lot of them out there. There's a few of them out there. I'll probably try to pull those together and share those with you later on, but I've actually seen them, and you can get that and get it going. It's not fancy stuff. There's no images. It's like a little simple directory, real simple. The one that you should take a look at, if you're looking to set up a catalog, you can't get much better than Gumio. And I know these folks, they're just wonderful, and the only problem is they're just doing so much good business that it's just flowing their way like crazy, and sometimes it's just hard to get in with them. But basically what their technology does is it creates how can I put it, a catalog if you happen to have a business that has a lot of inventory. For example, if you had an automobile dealership, they could have every single car you sell in their catalog, and not only does it display it on mobile web pages, and it's all automated so that you can just take all your data and just upload it, you know, all in one fell swoop, or have it just feed in as you get new inventory in. But it also has a text messaging system built into it so that if a person sees, I'm going to stay with the car example, if they see your car either in an ad or if they walk up to it and they see a sign in the window, it'll actually say text in, and it'll have a specific keyword for each product item in your inventory, all at the same short code, so that people can literally text in and get more information about every single item in your entire inventory or your entire catalog. It's great for, again, automobiles. It's wonderful for real estate. It's good for anyone who's got a lot of inventory and you need to get it all into some type of a mobile catalog system with text messaging built in. It's a killer system. So So that would be a company that I would explore if you happen to have that type of product or service. And if you're a consultant and you're out and about, let me tell you, go to the small car dealerships. Go to the real estate offices. Maybe not the big franchise ones that are out there, but there are often regional real estate offices that are a good size, or even the small mom and pop real estate agencies that are out there, and talk to them about getting all of their inventory into this Gumio system. And obviously, before you would do it, you'd want to click every single link in the site, read all about what they do, maybe give them a call, talk to them about your ideas and what you want to do, and what have you. At the end of the day, their system just cannot be beat for the type of products and services that it's built for. It's just great. So that's a really good lead for a certain number of you that are on the call, if it just so happens your product or you're consulting for businesses that have products and services that would work for that. Okay. Now, the mobile call to action. This is actually a PDF. We're going to pop out of the slideshow now, and we're going to go over to this PDF, which is in the portal. And again, I want to show you, here's the Stomper mobile portal. And when you log in, you'll see featured at the very top, it says PDF, Mobile Call to Action, Guidelines and Phrases. I want you to click on that, and then once you get over there, you'll actually see the PDF. And if you click right here, you'll be able to download that PDF, and you'll have all of the information we're going to talk about for the rest of the night right in front of you. Okay, now here's what the deal is. In a previous session, I talked to you about how to put together an incredible text message, if you remember that. I introduced the Get Rich Quick text message formula and several other formulas. And in all of those formulas, one of the elements was make sure you have a call to action. But I didn't get into the details of what a call to action should be, or at least not in any great detail. And so what I've done is I've put together perhaps the only mobile call to action guideline with actual phrases that's out there at all. And you're not going to find this anywhere. You can maybe find bits and pieces here and there and kind of tie it all together. But based on things I've tried and used, based on things I've discovered, I've just been collecting and putting this together over time, and now I'm sharing it with everyone so that you can benefit from it. This does not mean that this is the be-all, end-all. If anything, what it will do is it will spawn further ideas that you can try and test. It's pretty exhaustive, but believe me, if you come up with some additional ideas, and certainly add them to this document on your own so that you end up with a great little tool to help you create mobile call to actions. Every single campaign that you do has to have a call to action in it, all right? And if there's anybody on the phone that doesn't know what a call to action is, that's the thing that's either on a web page or a flyer or a billboard or a bus bench or the bumper sticker or your mobile website or in your text message or on a little sign that's on the table in the cafeteria where you're eating, or it's on television, or it's in your book. It's the thing that asks the customer or the prospect to take action. Like the most famous on the web is click here. That's a call to action. And even as goofy as that one seems to be, it is still one of the best. It just absolutely works. You know, I just hate that they consider it a spam flag in email, and they actually, kind of penalize you if you put click here in an email that you send out. But anyway, that is a call to action. And the better you can become at generating calls to actions, the better everything you do is going to be. And in mobile, there are some unique calls to actions that don't exist anywhere else. Like, for example, click to call. You're never going to see click to call, on a flyer, or on the side of a bus. You're just not going to see it. There are certain mobile call to actions that are very unique. So what I've done here, and I'm going to go through it, is first there are guidelines, and then there are actual phrases that will be very beneficial for you to get comfortable with and begin to use. So you can use these all over the place. You can use them in your text messages. You can put them as the call to action on your landing pages, your mobile landing pages. You can use them on signs in your business. You can put them on bumper stickers in your car, billboards, whatever, but they are, for the most part, mobile-related calls to action. So here, let's go through the guidelines. Number one, and the most important, is remember that your customer is mobile. So before you go and use a word, a call to action, think about the customer, their situation, and will this call to action make sense for them where they're at, okay? Second one is use active language. Verbs are very powerful. Click here, call now. Those are verbs, and you're going to see a bunch of them in a minute, so I won't bore you with it right now, okay? Make the benefits clear. Always reveal why you're asking them to take the particular action that you're asking for. So make the benefits clear. Okay, that can be stuff that's around your call to action, maybe your bullet points or whatever, but it needs to reveal why. Often, if you can put it right in the call to action, it can be even more powerful. Click here and save 10% today. All right, that's a much more powerful call to action than click here. The next one is make sure that it's displayed in a prominent place. Now, it's really hard as you read through these things not to trap yourself in one medium. For example, this says display in a prominent place. Well, what does that mean? Well, if you're talking about a mobile website, what it means is that you need to have it up at the top of the page because the little screen is so small that if you put it too far down, that wouldn't be prominent if they've got to scroll down on their mobile to even see it. So it needs to be at the top of the screen. All right? You can have a mobile call to action on your PC site as well because it may say, join my mobile marketing subscription list. Enter your mobile phone here. They're actually looking at your PC website, but you're doing a mobile call to action, and you want to make sure that you're thinking about it, in that context. So the display here can be different. What if it's a flyer? You could have, send text, free, tennis shoes to 12345. That needs to be displayed on the text in the flyer in a prominent manner, in a prominent place. In other words, don't do what so many people have done, even with URLs, is they think it's like they treat it like an afterthought. Next time you get a flyer or something in the mail, especially from someone that maybe you realize their business just isn't up on technology, look around and notice if they ever take their URL and they put it on the page, but they put it like in tiny print down in the bottom left-hand corner someplace, where nobody, it's like they felt like they were obligated to put it on there because their 10-year-old kid told them they should do it, but they're not comfortable with it, so they kind of make it small and hide it. You can't do that. You make it prominent. Mobile should be at the frickin' center of what you're doing. Everybody's got the mobile phone. Not everybody's got a computer, so make it prominent. Send text keyword to 12345. Make it big call to action on your display. If it's a flyer, if it's a sign on the side of your car, okay? If you've got a restaurant and you're wanting people to do something, and you've got a little tent sign on the table, make sure that it's prominently placed. All right? I don't know if you remember, I can't remember if it was the most recent Emmys or Oscars or something, but they wanted people to send in a text message, and they had a guy running around in a tuxedo holding up a giant sign on the stage saying send, and they had a keyword, to, and they had the text message. All right? Prominent places on television, but they had this guy running around holding it up. And that was it. Again, it was either the Emmys or the Oscars. All right. Also, limit the choices and the options and the distractions. You know, this is important in all cases when you're doing a call to action, but on mobile it's critical because people can't really do too many things. And it's not like they're going to go down one path on your site and then start doing a bunch of backs, you know, to get back where they were and all this navigation. It's not going to happen. So you want to limit options. On a mobile website, you know, one thing to do is plenty. That's it. But again, no matter where you're doing your call to action, always limit the choices. Don't, you know, you can do this, or you can tell your friends, or you can tweet on Twitter, or you can post it on Facebook, or you can send us a letter, or you can, I mean, it's too many things to do, and they won't do any of them. Fewer choices, options, and distractions. Okay, get the design right and place visual focus on it. That's somewhat similar to display in a prominent place, but slightly different. You might think about things such as, you know, buttons. If you're going to have a button on your mobile landing page, a big one is better than a small one that clearly says, you know, click for instant access, or just something that puts a visual focus on it. If you're not using graphics, and you just have a click here, then it makes sense, and I actually think I may have it further down here, but it actually makes sense to have white space, you know, above and below that little text link where they're supposed to click it. In that case, the text may not be big, but the fact that you put white space above it and below it can have a huge difference on the number of people that actually click whatever your call to action is. All right? Make it easy. Limit the call to action to only what's required. For example, let's say you have an opt-in form on your PC site. If you can get away with just asking for name, email, and mobile phone number, then that's it. Or maybe just first name, mobile phone number. Less is better. In other words, always try to limit it. But even more so if they're looking at this on their mobile phone. The space is just not as big there, and typing is a little bit more challenging, so you're not wanting them to have to fill in a big, long form. Always remember that if you can just get that first piece of data, be it the email or be it the phone number, you can always collect more data later. In fact, that's the next one. Getting an email is easier than getting a phone number, so don't just go nuts thinking that just because I just took a mobile marketing course, I'm just going to try to get everybody's mobile phone number, you know, straight out of the gate. That may not be possible. It's still going to be easier to get their email than it is their mobile phone number. So why not just get their email, and as soon as you got that, you're going to be able to communicate with them over a period of time, and there may be another occasion or many occasions where you can try to get them to give you their mobile number. All right? And regardless of what you're doing, it's always the hardest to get a person to bring out their or pull out their credit card and actually crank it for a sale. So emails are the easiest, phone number comes next, and a sale or credit card comes third. You want to go for the low-hanging fruit whenever it makes sense, okay? Now, if you've got something, don't get me wrong on this, if you've got something that's mobile only, like you're delivering a ringtone, you can often get a person to put in their mobile phone number and just do that straight out of the gate. Or maybe they're doing a mobile poll, or maybe a click-to-win kind of, or a text-to-win type contest. You know, if you think through and you do it right, there are these strategies where getting the mobile phone is actually makes more sense than trying to get the email. All right? So just keep that in mind. The next thing is use a mobile call to action on every page and in all of your marketing material. I'm going to talk about this in a later session more, but this is critical. Every single touch point that you have with a customer should have mobile in it now, okay? So you need to go back, and we've already talked about it, but go back and look at your business cards. They need to be redone. If you're doing flyers, think those through again and think mobile when you do it, all right? If you're doing any type of advertisement, television, radio, billboards, signs, if you're putting, signs in people's yards maybe while you do work on their home or something, you need to think through all these touch points, all these places where people are seeing or reading or hearing about your business, and rethink, how do I put a mobile call to action on these things, and perhaps is the mobile call to action, does it supersede the old call to action that I had? Okay? Sometimes it will, sometimes they'll work together. You can put them both there, all right? You also need to go to your website and make sure that you've integrated mobile into your PC-based website, and then also on your mobile website itself. Remember, people don't spend as much time when they're on their mobile phone clicking through lots of pages at your site. They're going to come to one page, and if you don't have a call to action on that page, they may never see your call to action. So why not just put a call to action on every single page that you have? Some type of call to action. It doesn't always have to be a call to action to buy something. It doesn't have to be a call to action to subscribe. Okay, you'll see when we get to the words in a moment. There's many things. It could be a call to action for them to tweet something. All right, that's still a call to action. It's something you're asking the person to do that will benefit both you and them. Okay, enhance your materials with graphics that imply mobile. In other words, if you've got a little sign in your business and you're wanting people to text something in, it will increase your conversion if there's a picture of a mobile phone, or maybe a person on a mobile phone, something that's mobile. If that picture is associated with the call to action, it will definitely enhance and increase the conversions that you're going to get. So if you do an opt-in on your website and it's a mobile opt-in, put a little icon or something there. Icons and graphics, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Put that there, and people will gravitate toward that, and they'll understand what you're trying to get at a lot quicker than just reading the text. Create an explained deadline, all right? Now, these are things, the next few things that I have here, are things that, if they're associated with your call to action, will increase the conversion ratio. In other words, if you say, buy now, we're closing the deal at midnight, that's not as good as if you give a reason that this is going to happen, okay? We expect to run out of pizzas by midnight. Order now. In other words, give them some type of a reason behind why you've created this deadline, all right? And maybe that wasn't the best example, but that's the idea. You don't just give them, the sale ends tomorrow at noon. That's okay, but it's better if you say the sale ends tomorrow at noon because, and then give them a reason, okay? That makes your deadline believable, because a lot of people now, they're kind of tainted by deadlines, and it's like, oh, yeah, right. And, especially online with all of these launches, sign up now, we're about to close the shopping cart, and then, 2 days later, they're explaining how the server went down, and they're going to open it up for 3 more hours and this and that and whatever. Actually, they're doing a lot of that. They're explaining why they're doing this and opening it up and whatever, but the explanation is what it's all about. Offer something for free. Free works. Offer a mobile magnet. If you remember, there was a list of mobile magnets that I shared in a couple of the earlier sessions. Go back through that. Offer that as part of your call to action. Offer a full money-back guarantee or return guarantee. Most people do not do returns. If they do, you will win favor by honoring the guarantee, and it will give you good viral marketing. It's just a good thing to do. And there's no way to trick a person into buying something. If it's lousy stuff, you probably shouldn't be selling it in the first place. So get in the habit of selling good stuff. offer money-back guarantees and returns. You won't have that many, and you're great. And if you use mobile strategies and text message strategies to engage your customers in their product as soon as you can once they buy it, that engagement itself will decrease the returns and requests for money back. Advise your customers of forthcoming price increases. Reveal price next to the buy button, especially on mobile. If someone reads about your product and then at the bottom it's got a buy button, but they haven't read anywhere in your description or on the page or any place how much it costs, you will decrease the number of people that will click it, because when they do, many times if they don't have a good connection on their mobile phone, they know it's going to take forever for the next page to load up, and they're just not willing to waste their time doing it just to figure out what the price is. You know, it's like you got to tell them the price somewhere anyway, so you may as well tell them right by the buy button, and that will work, you know. One-liner testimonials near the call to action really help. I've had a lot of luck with this. It's just find a good testimonial that's not too hypey and very believable. Often it's good to include the person's first name. You know, if you have permission, you can include, you know, whatever, the first and last name. But a one-liner testimonial, so that right at that point when they're thinking about buying, there's just one more little, you know, bird on their shoulder saying, hey, I bought. It was great for me and my family. You know, and if you put it right near the buy button, that's great. Especially if, you know, if it's mobile and you can make it kind of a mobile-oriented testimonial, you know, more power to you. Authority badges and logos can help, and I know you've probably heard about this before, but there are also certain authority badges and logos that are associated with mobile. Some people are a member of the Mobile Marketing Association. They have logos over there that you can use. You can get certified at certain levels and things like that. These logos can help a lot. You can do security-type logos, even logos of well-known web entities like Amazon.com or Google and things like that. If it's appropriate to have those things on your site for some reason, those things do increase people's trust, and so therefore their willingness to take action. A customer support option is good. You'll be surprised that not that many people really, you're not going to get inundated with it, but customer support is something that you should think through. By the way, if anybody on the call needs a customer support team, I have one. And they're relatively inexpensive. They set up a ticket system, and they will actually answer support tickets for you. I could not live without it. I consider it the front tier of good marketing is to have customer support. Now, I know that there's some people right now that are saying, yeah, Dan, I keep hearing you talk about customer support, but I've had one problem after another after another. And I apologize for that if that has been the case. My customer support team is not handling Stomper Mobile. That's going through StomperNet, and it's their team. And I do think they're trying over there, but there have been a few glitches, all right? But at least there is a customer support ticket system, and there are people there that are answering tickets and what have you. But whatever you do, you need a customer support system of some sort, even if you man it, so that you can make sure that people are comfortable. Even if they don't use the customer support, if they see that you've got a link to customer support or you say something about it, it will increase the conversions that you'll get. A toll-free helpline is good. You can use your Communicast system or any toll-free message system that you might have. By having a phone number on your web page, it will increase your conversions. And a free recorded message line is great. It's just important to make sure that you tell people, if you have a phone number, make sure you tell them whether or not it's going to be answered by a recorded message or if there are live people answering the phone call. People get mad if they call a phone number and they think they're going to get a person and then they get a recorded message. That's not good. But if you tell them you have a free recorded message, then they call and they hear the free recorded message and it's helpful, then they love you for it. A lot of people do not want to talk to a person. They are very willing to listen to a free recorded message. They don't want to talk to a person. Okay. We're still not to the call to actions. There's a lot of prep in this. So that's what we're doing now. We're just going through the guidelines so that you can have the most killer mobile call to actions that are out there on any mobile site or any mobile marketing material. Now, you've got to remember that everything that you do, everything that you offer needs to be mobilized. You don't offer a newsletter to someone in exchange for their mobile phone number. You offer a mobile newsletter. You don't offer a download. You offer a mobile download. You're not going to give a webinar. You're going to give a mobile webinar. And you're probably thinking, well, what the hell is the difference between a webinar and a mobile webinar? There's no difference. But by calling it that, you're appealing to the audience, and you're connecting the dots between where you're reaching them and what you're doing. A mobile white paper. A mobile white paper is like a PDF, no different than the white paper you'd get on a computer, but it can be downloaded onto a smartphone and read there. So if you call it a mobile white paper, it's more appropriate, and people will give you their mobile phone number and opt in because they're getting something mobile. You're going to give them a mobile demo. You're not going to just give them a discount. You're going to give them a mobile discount. You're going to, can you remember back in the very early days of the Internet, there was a lot of what they called web discounts. Oh, you can call us on the phone or come into our store, and we've got discounts in our for that. But boy, if you go to our website, we've got our web discounts, and they would always make those discounts a little bit better, especially in the early days, because so many people were eager to drive traffic to their websites, and they were just trying to get that all going. You don't see quite as much of that these days, but that's where we're at with mobile. So a mobile discount will just it'll resound with mobile users in ways that'll blow you away. You have mobile specials. You don't say buy now. You say buy now on your mobile phone. Believe it or not, if somebody is looking at a text message or they're looking at a mobile coupon or your mobile landing page or your mobile site, if it just says buy now, some of them will still not realize that they could buy it right there on their phone. It's just not intuitive with everyone yet. It's just not there. So you want to just tell them straight up, sign up today on your mobile phone. You do that, it's clear, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Everything that you do, make it mobile in the verbiage in which you're describing it. And again, I'm not just talking about on your mobile web page. It could also be in the text message. It could be on a sign. It could be in a flyer. It could be in your Yellow Page ad. It could be any place. If you're trying to tie in to mobile, make sure you use the verbiage that speaks mobile. Okay, don't forget the after effect. This is the area that I have specialized in. It's the area I focus on more than I think most people do, and it's the area where I think the most money is. And what I mean by the after effect is that as soon as a person has acted upon your call to action, that means they are, well, they're kind of in love with you. They've just given you their email or their mobile phone number or their name or their address. They've just taken action with you. They wouldn't have done it if they didn't like you or whatever it is that you're offering. So they like you better at the point they take an action than any other time. So since they're in love with you there for a few minutes, you need to make sure that you take care of them and make certain requests and present certain things right after the call to action has been completed. So you want to make sure, and sometimes you can do a couple of these things, and sometimes they can all be done on the same page, and sometimes you'll just pick out one and focus on it. But if you're selling a product, you absolutely want to make sure that as soon as they buy, it is clear how and when and where they're going to get their product. So that's confirmation and product delivery. You need to take care of that so that they're not, like all of a sudden going from loving you to death to thinking that they just got ripped off within 30 seconds. And now they're looking for customer support lines, and they're telling everybody on everywhere they go that they bought something and they never got the download link and all that kind of stuff. So first of all, always take care of product delivery. absolute first, okay? In general, always confirm what people do. If they click a button, confirm that whatever they thought they were doing actually occurred. Did they really opt into your list? A lot of times they don't know. I hate it when I go to a site and I put in my name and my email or even my mobile number, and I don't ever get any confirmation. It just like reloads the page, and then I sit there wondering if I'm on the list or not. I have no idea. Don't do that. Make sure there's something that says, hey, it worked. You're on our list. We'll be sending you our first newsletter tomorrow. Okay? That's all you need. All right? If there are multiple steps that a person needs to do in order to complete this thing, like maybe they need to check their email and click a link, maybe they need to wait for a letter to arrive in the mail and take a code from the letter and enter it into a website. I mean, who knows? There's often multiple steps that you may be guiding your customer, down a path. Make sure that you tell them, next step, step 1, step 2, step 3. Thank you for your order. Now, here's the next step. Okay? Let me give you a great idea. This is perhaps one of the most killer ideas that I use for building my mobile marketing list. As soon as somebody buys something, especially if it's, in my case, especially if it's like a webinar or something of that nature, as soon as they buy, the thank you page that comes up and it says, next step. Enter your name and mobile number below so that we can inform you when the event occurs. In other words, making the collection of their mobile number a part of the delivery of the product. And I'm not saying, hey, I'll give you a free, box of chocolates if you'll give me your mobile phone number. I don't need to do that. All I need to do is say, next step. They just bought. Now, here's the next step. Give me your mobile number so that we can tell you when the events occur. It's almost like natural. They go, oh, well, of course. I just paid for this thing. Of course I want to know when it's going to happen. And so there's no big deal. And you can do some variation of that strategy with almost any product or service. Okay. Next step, enter your mobile phone number so that we can send you our quick start instructions on the product you just bought. Okay? Or our mobile quick start instructions. All right? All right. Sometimes you can ask for a review or a testimonial immediately after they buy. You can actually have a form there, or you can have a phone number that they call, or a click-to-call that goes to a system that asks for their review or their audio review or testimonial. Okay? You can have a share with friends. You can make it viral. And keep in mind that there can be multiple after effects. The first one may be a confirmation or a next step, and then they click the button and they do that. Then it could take them to a page that asks for their review, and they click the button and send that. Then the next page comes up and says, would you like to tweet this on Twitter? And they do that. And then the next one says, oh, and by the way, we've got the super duper deluxe version, and then you can do your upsells. So you can think through the logic that you think will make sense depending on your product and service, but the after effect can be just absolutely huge. I've already mentioned upsells, but upsells, there's no better place to have an upsell than immediately after a person has just opted in or just bought something. I mean, that is the time to do your upsell. I know you just bought our $39.95 version. However, we've got our super duper version that's only $10 more if you order it today, and things of that nature. So you can have multiple calls to actions on these multiple after effect pages that you do. You can also collect more demographic data. In other words, you could ask them, to enter in, their zip code. You could ask them to enter in their state, maybe enter in their address because you're going to send them something by mail, or you're going to send them, part of the product by mail. That's the way you can add to your database. And most of the good autoresponders and list management systems will allow your customers to add more demographic data to their file if you just, put the right form there. Offer customer support. There is absolutely nothing that is sweeter then at the very end saying, thank you, we're all done. If you have any other questions, here is the number for our customer support, or here's the link to our customer support help desk. You know, they're there, we're ready to help you. Nothing better than that, okay? It is a wonderful, wonderful experience. Now, all of that was merely to get us to this. Now, this is kind of fun stuff. I mean, you know, I've broken this down into categories, and we'll quickly run through it, and I think you'll enjoy it. But through my research and testing and what have you, these are some of the one-word verbs. Remember I told you earlier that action words, verbs, are the best for call to actions. Negative words aren't. I haven't had a lot of luck with, you know, don't do this, and, you know, stop now, or you're going to lose everything, by going in the negative way. But anyway, this is a collection, they're in alphabetical order, of one-word phrases, and these are great for mobile. Apply, attend, book, and I don't mean the noun book, I mean like book it today. Buy, call, click, clip, and even though the coupon might not be clippable, you can still use it because people understand. You know, clip our coupon and show it on your mobile phone when you come to our store. Okay, contact, download, enroll, join, listen, order, pay, play. That could be play a video or play a game, play our contest, read, register, research, reserve, RSVP, save, subscribe, tap, visit, watch. And by the way, tap may be the word that begins to be as important as click, because on your mobile, especially your smartphones with the touch screens, people don't think of it as much as a click as they do a tap. All right? And if you remember back, one of the search engines that I showed you earlier, in fact, I think it's still right here. Yeah, Tap2. Their whole gig is, you know, it's the first search engine that is for, that you know, search by tapping. So tap is a big word. Tap here. Okay. The next one, we have still verbs, but now these are the verbal phrases that you can use. Act now, ask us a question. Book now, buy today, call now. Now listen, some of these will just spawn an idea. I've got buy now, and I've got buy today. It may spawn another thing. It may say buy by noon tomorrow. So don't think that these are rock solid, stuck on exactly what they are. Call now, call our 24/7 hotline, call our free recorded message. Click here, contact now, discover your whatever. Download our free app, free shipping. Get a free example, get a free trial, instant access, join now, order now, pay less, register now, request a demo, request a free quote, request our toolkit, reserve now, save now, sign up today, sign up now, start now. Step 1, talk to an expert, tap here. God, after you read all those things, you just kind of get an urge to go out and do something, don't you? Okay. Now, these are specific mobile call to actions. And again, this is not the exhaustive list, but it's enough to get you well entrenched in this language. Click to call. Text. Yes, it's a verb. Text now. Text to win. Text to play. Text to vote. Send text for whatever. Instant info, more info, whatever. Join our site by texting keyword to 12345. So texting keyword, whatever your keyword is, to 12345. And by the way, your keyword itself can be a call to action. It should either be descriptive, a call to action, or describe a benefit, something of that nature. Always make it kind of an action or interesting word. Text keyword to 12345 now, or for whatever. In other words, explain the why. Enter URL in mobile browser. That seems like a long one, but just think about it. If you have a sign on a table in a restaurant and you just put the URL up there on the little sign, guess what? Most people won't even think about it. Let's be blind to it. Even though they have their mobile phone in their pocket, if they're not just like, really into this mobile stuff, they may not think about it. But if you write enter URL in a mobile browser, you know what? They'll do it. Or go to URL on your mobile phone. Just explicitly tell people what you want. You can put this on a flyer. You can put it anywhere. You can put it on a sign. I just can't believe how many real estate agents put a sign up in front of a home, and either they don't put a web address at all, or they put a PC web address. Like people are driving around in their cars with their PCs or something. Give me a break. They're driving around in their cars, or they're walking around looking at homes with their mobile phone, and that should be on the sign, or a text message request should be on the sign. Scan QR code, and QR stands for quick response, but that's one of the common terminologies that's being used. Scan our 2D barcode. Snap a mobile pic. That's actually related to the barcode as well. Snap a mobile pic of our barcode. There's also technology, you may have seen it, Google has it and many others, where you can just take a picture of an object, and the actual picture of the object can then be converted into a link to a website as well. So snapping a mobile picture is indeed a call to action. Send to mobile. You may have seen this on websites. It's getting to be really popular where you're on a website and it'll say send to mobile. What they're meaning is that if you click the button, it will send the URL of the page you're looking at to your mobile phone. That's really handy because that will allow a person who's sitting there looking at your site and their wife's saying, hey, we got to go to the store, and you're thinking, God, but I want to finish reading this. And you can click that button and send the URL to your mobile phone so that while you're out and about, you can finish up on that page that you had some interest in. Or maybe it's maybe it's a map, and you want to have the map on your mobile phone. So you can, and Google does do this, allows you to click a link that will send the link to that map to your mobile phone, okay? Because you don't need it on your computer because you're not going to have that with you when you're out traveling. You'll have your mobile phone. Use our mobile coupon. Save our mobile coupon. Show your mobile coupon, meaning show it to our cashier. Show it as you check out, whatever. Bring your mobile phone and actually show us the coupon. You don't need to, print anything and waste paper. Share a coupon with a friend. And by the way, if you don't tell people that they can share certain things, they won't think they can. So if you have a mobile coupon, you can actually include it in the text somewhere. Share this coupon with a friend. Forward coupon to a friend. Show this text at checkout or at the door. Enter your mobile coupon code. Like as they're checking out on the web, they may have gotten the coupon on their mobile phone, but they may be buying on their PC site. Forward text to a friend, and then the one that you see next is shorter, forward to friends. That's a really good one, this one right here, for text messages, because a lot of people don't think about forwarding a text message. It's pretty common in email, and it's pretty easy. Well, it is on the mobile phone as well. It's not very hard to forward a text message, but people don't think about it. If you suggest it, then they'll go, wow, yeah, I should. Maybe it's a discount or a coupon or something. You say forward to friends. Visit our mobile site. Now, these are things here at the end that you're going to want to put on either PC sites or on print material, offline stuff. Visit our mobile site. Visit us on your mobile phone now. Check out our mobile site today. Why wait? We are on your mobile phone. In other words, picture somebody standing there looking at a sign in your business. And it says, why wait? We're on your mobile phone. They'll think, geez, of course. Now pull it out, and then you could have your mobile web address there. Okay, why wait? We are mobile friendly. If this stuff seems silly, it isn't. You have got to integrate this stuff into all of your marketing materials if you want to drive mobile traffic. That's what we're trying to do here. Now, Here we have some motivating phrases. I've got them in two categories. One is mobile specific and the other is kind of general. And I'll run through these quick. Available for mobile. In other words, here's what I mean by motivating phrases. These aren't exactly call to actions, but they are great phrases to be closely associated with your call to action. Maybe the sentence before your call to action, or the subtext underneath your call to action. So available for mobile, best mobile value, exclusive offer for mobile customers, free mobile guide, immediate mobile download, limited only to mobile users. Boy, that makes me feel special. Mobile advantage. Okay, you can even start a mobile advantage club. Your business could, so that you do special things for your mobile users. A mobile discount, a mobile-only discount. Mobile users welcome. How about mobile VIP pricing? Would you like to take advantage of our mobile VIP pricing? Send VIP to 12345. We cater to mobile. We love mobile customers. Brag about it. And again, if you're a consultant, this list of stuff here is gold. I'm telling you, if you combine these little pieces I've put together, what I do, it's like Campbell's soup. You condense it down so that the good stuff is just all in one spot, and then you come off like some kind of a genius. Because you're going to be able to go into a business, and you can just walk around and you can say, oh, right here on your cash register, I think you should have a sticker that says, we love mobile customers. And then right under that, put your mobile website, the one that I'm building for you. Okay? And right over here, when people are coming in to your business, I think we should have a little flyer here or sticker here that's your 2D barcode. And give them a little strategy for that. And then how about on your price tags? Every single price tag in the store, you could have it so that it tells them that they can buy this item on their mobile phone. Or maybe you add a separate sticker. In other words, you mobilize everything that they do. All right? That's it. And if you remember last week, it was a killer strategy. If you can figure out some way to weave it into your business or any that you're consulting for, a little sticker on their credit card, hey, they look at that thing all the time. Some people look at their credit card more than they do their spouse. Wouldn't you like to have a sticker on the credit card? I don't think you're going to get a sticker on their spouse, but you can get one on their credit card. Okay. Motivating phrases. Now, this is a list of phrases that I haven't mobilized them, but in general, these are good phrases to associate with a call to action. 24 hours only, 5 days only. Of course, you can vary those numbers. Certified expert. Discount expires at midnight. Helps if you explain why. Easy to use. Free consultation, free recorded message, friendly staff are waiting, limited availability, limited time only, money back, no experience necessary, no fees, offer expires at. Operators are waiting. Have you ever heard that one? Satisfaction guaranteed, and I love this one. We answer our phones. Okay? It's a great one. All right. Now this one, I will admittedly tell you that it is you could go on forever with this one, but I wanted to make sure you thought about it. There are physical location phrases that also tie into mobile and web and all of that, and I do want you to think about it. And by associating these type phrases with your mobile strategies, it ties it all together, okay? So things such as call ahead, click for direction, click for map, easy to find, easy parking in back or wherever, foot traffic welcomed, free parking, next to such and such shopping center or whatever, helping people to locate where it is, no waiting, call ahead, or even no waiting, text ahead, text in your order first, reservations accepted. There are a lot of comfort words that will make a person show up at your physical location because you remove the fear. Oh gosh, I'm not going to go downtown because I got to find a place to park. It'll take me forever. Forget it. Just by saying, free parking or easy parking in back, that can make a whole difference, and that could be on the businesses or your business's mobile website, especially if you're trying to drive somebody from your mobile landing page to actually visit your location. You don't want them to have any reason not to get there. So you can give them directions, you can give them a map, tell them it's easy to find, there's going to be free, easy parking in the back, call ahead and we'll have your order ready. Send us a text, whatever. Think about the physical location and how that weaves into your mobile marketing campaign. And last but certainly not least, we have the mobile web and social media. And again, you can go on this list quite a bit, but this will get you kind of going. The newest one, and these are in alphabetical order, but it just happens to come up at the top, is check-in. I mean, that's the big gig now. Using Foursquare or any other GPS or location-based social media service, that's now a call to action. Check in on Foursquare. So you can have something talking about your business, and then you can be encouraging people to check in on Foursquare. Now, anytime something's new, and certainly location-based social media, Foursquare, 2D barcodes, a lot of this stuff is kind of new, people don't know what it is, then these calls to actions don't work unless you explain it. So it's worthy of adding, a little mini explanation of some of this stuff if you want it to click, with people. So even though I've got check-in or check-in on Foursquare, you wouldn't do that and just leave it out there bare. You've got to explain what this is for a person to get it. But that is a very good call to action. Comment. Facebook this, follow me, Foursquare this, friend me, Google us. Google us on your mobile phone. If your business or whoever you're helping, if their site comes up on the first page of Google under the proper keywords or the name of their business or whatever, then indeed you want to boast about this. It's almost bragging rights. And in fact, if your business comes up number one in your area, then Google 411 is killer. Google 411, if you don't know what that is, do a search for Google 411. That is their phone-based search directory where if you're out driving around, you can call Google 411, and when the phone rings, it's automated. And it'll say, hello, this is Google. Tell us, what you're looking for. And you'll say, like, I'm looking for, pizza. Very good. Where are you? I'm in such and such town. Great. And then it just takes a couple of seconds, and they will actually connect you by phone instantly to the number one search result. Now, as a person who's listening on the phone, you can also, ask it to give you like the top 3 or the top 5 and stuff like that. But if you're number one, it will automatically connect you and ring the phone of that business. So that is a real special little thing. So if you can get your business there, or if you're a consultant and you can get a business there, then certainly you want to go in and show that to the business owner, and they will just think it's the coolest thing since sliced bread. Okay, GPS us. Join me, link to me, post this, post to Facebook, recommend me, review us, share this, tweet this. Your comment is appreciated. These are all types of calls to actions that are associated with either the mobile web or with social media. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let's do a couple of questions here. If you've got any questions, I'm going to go over and take a look at what you guys have been typing. Before I do that, though, let's get back over here. Okay. Oh, I love this. Dan, I can't thank you enough. This is gold. Thanks a million. Thank you. I love doing this stuff. Okay. Okay, here's one. What about the FTC and testimonials? Okay. Here's the deal with testimonials. As long as you're not making, in particular, financial or profit claims, you're okay. I mean, the FTC is not going to come and shut down your site or close down your business if somebody is saying that you've got the best pizza in town. I mean, that's not what the FTC is after. What the FTC is after is if you claim that someone can make, $10,000 in 24 hours, then you've got to not only you can certainly display that if you wanted to, but you've got to then reveal what are the typical results. The typical results is all of my students go to sleep and they don't do a damn thing for the next 24 hours. And so you get into this problem, and that was a joke, but you get into this problem of if you make a big claim, then you are forced to also state what the average or typical situation is. So that's really what the FTC is after. They're also looking at weight loss claims, things of that. So if it has to do with health, if it has to do with financial gain, those are the areas where you have to be really careful. But if it's a testimonial of somebody just, they've just bought your product or your service and they're just sharing, that information without making any grandiose, claims, then you're going to certainly be okay. All right. Also, if you happen to be in an area where you need to share financial gains or weight loss gains, then sometimes what you can do is have that information done genuinely by your customers, but have it put in other places. Like if they tweet it on Twitter, you're not. That's a separate thing. You can't control if a person tweets a testimonial on Twitter about how well they did with your program, and then you're not obligated to do anything as a retort to what they do there, or if they were to post it on Facebook or something like that. Where you have the problem is when you build a landing page and you hand pick or cherry pick, the absolute best, testimonial that you've got in the whole bunch, and you put that there, and it kind of misleads the mass into thinking that everybody can do that. That's what they're looking for. Probably over-answered that. Okay, let's look at another one. Is Gumio good for a good application for e-commerce? Absolutely, it is. That's what it's all about. So if you have, it says I sell clothing, for example. If you have an inventory of clothing, and as you sell it, you get more in, and there's just a constant flowing inventory, then basically they will set you up so that inventory can be not only on the mobile web in a catalog-type system, but people could do text messaging in order to find out more about that if they wanted to. Okay. If you have a physical store, then that too, okay, can play into this. So I would just spend some time over there and explore what their system does, look at some of the case studies. They have quite a few. Give them a call, and if it can work for you, it's a superlative system, no question about it. Okay, someone's asking if I could demo how to FTP a mobile site into any hosting service so that we can see how to do it. I actually would love to do that. The only challenge is that I'm a Mac user, and I only know how to do it on a Mac. Certainly I can do that. But if you're on a PC, then I'm not the guy to help you. I will say this, though. If you will do a Google search for just how to FTP using a PC or how to FTP using a Mac, you're going to find tutorials that will do exactly what you're looking for, and will have screenshots or videos, and are going to show you, quite easy. I think it's somewhat similar on a PC, but if it's anything like it is on a Mac, I mean, really, it's like dragging a file from one window to another. It's just that when you drag it to an FTP window, instead of it moving to another folder on your computer, it's moving to the folder that's on your server, and that's really it. So what you would do is you would download the entire Moby Site Galore. It comes in a zipped file. You would download that onto your desktop. You would then open that zip file on your desktop so that you've got the individual HTML documents, staring you in the face. Okay, there'd be several files. You would then launch your FTP program. If you're on a Mac, I recommend Fetch. That's, in fact, if you're looking at my screen, I'll open up Fetch. Here's Fetch. You have to put in the name of your domain. You put in your username, and you put in your password, and then you do connect. And now these are all of the folders that are on my server. Each one is a domain. And if I decided I wanted to put something in, let's see, let's go down to danhollings.moby. All right, I just clicked on that one. This is my, these are the different directories. You're going to look for a directory that says public. It may be a little different than that depending on what kind of server you're on, but you want to get into the public HTML folder. And then once you're in there, this is called your base or your root directory area where all of your files are. And the home page is always called index something, either index.php or index.html or index.htm, something like that. So that's your home page. And then all of your web pages, generally they will end in .html. Those are the actual web pages, whereby graphics either end in .jpeg or .gif. And that's pretty much what you've got on your server. And then sometimes you've got some extra folders, like maybe you put all your images in a separate folder or things of that nature. But that's kind of the structure of it. So this is my site here. If I wanted to delete my mobile website, I would just, basically delete. I'm not going to do that. That's crazy. I want to demo how to destroy my site. But anyway, if I wanted to delete that, then I would just highlight that and delete it. If I wanted to upload a new one, then let me see if I can get an example here. Let's say I wanted to upload a new one. Then I think we'll find an HTML file. That's my little dog there. Okay. Basically, I find the file. Oh, here's a file right here. It's called trash.html. All right, so here's what I would do. On a Mac, here, this window here is my FTP window. I just got through showing you that. This is my folder that's got a file on it. Let's say this was my home page of my website. It's called trash. All I do is take that file, drag it over here, and let loose of it. And then down at the bottom, you'll see it says transfer is complete. It just moved trash to this file, which is called trash.html. It just moved it to my server. So there it is. And if I went to trash.html, it'd be there. Okay? So all you're doing is dragging files from your desktop over to folders on your server. And it works somewhat similar with PC, but I just can't explain it because I don't use that. So I'm going to get rid of this. I want to delete that trash file off of my server, and it's gone. It's really easy, guys, really easy. Okay, about 5 more minutes here, so let me find some more questions. Okay. Will Moby Site Galore remove the footer for consultants? The answer is yes. I hope I heard a bunch of hurrahs for that. Okay. You got to remember that if you're hosting it on your server, you still have access to all of that code, so you can take it off manually. They may have some way that takes it off over there. If they're hosting it on their site, then you have to submit a request for them to remove it. I believe that's the way it works. But I think for the most part, most people that would be using Moby Site, especially consultants who are doing it for other businesses, are going to be downloading it and then putting it either on your server or on the business owner server. Okay. If we have multiple Moby sites, can we have multiple accounts at Moby Galore? Well, you can, but you're going to pay for each one. They have different levels that you can get away with the lower end on maybe some of your sites. So I'm not sure I'm exactly answering your question, but I will say this. If you have the developers or the consultants service, which is going to be the $99 a month one for 25 basically accounts, all of those sites would be held in one account, which would be under your control. And I thought about this, and I really think that that's going to be the best way. If a business decides that they don't want to do business with you anymore, then you just say, well, okay, that's great. I'll just zip up your mobile site and you know, give you a copy of it, and then you go into Moby Site Galore and you delete them to open up a spot for another customer. And your previous customer, you know, they'll get the last version you gave them. Don't ever, you know, try to, you know, screw a customer by, you know, taking their site down or some goofy thing like that, because they'll spread bad news about you all over the town. So you just give them your site and just say, you know, appreciate the business. If you ever, you know, need any help, come back, and you're gone. Okay, but there won't be multiple logins. You're not going to get 25 logins so that all of your businesses could be logging into accounts. I don't think you're going to want that, because it'd just be, there's always the problem of people going in, trying to change something on the site, messing it up, and then you've got to correct it and keeping updated with which versions are live and all of this kind of stuff. It's just better if you manage it. Okay, Dan, I don't know how to get URLs for the standalone mobile pages. Okay, basically in Moby Site Galore, once you create that site, you know, that's a question that actually would be easier for us to answer in the forum. I think it is already answered in the forum. If you want to repost it again in the forum, because it requires a couple of screenshots. I don't have enough time tonight to dig into it, but basically once you create it, you'll be able to access the URL. It'll be on the same domain as your primary site, and when you download it, it'll also be a separate file. All good. All good. Okay, that's great. Let me quickly run to the end here, see if there's any new questions. Okay. Is Moby Site Galore the only place to build a mobile site? No. There are many mobile website builders. Okay, and you can certainly explore. You can do a Google search for mobile website builders, and you'll find a plethora of mobile website builders that you might consider. But don't fall in the trap of using one that converts your PC site into a mobile site. You don't want that. All right. You want one that will allow you to build one from scratch, and you want one that will work on all mobile platforms, and you want one that will allow you to do things such as mobile e-commerce and have analytics and all of that kind of stuff. Before the sessions are over, we are going to go into another web builder. I've held off on that because it's a more advanced one, and it will allow you to build a site that's more of the iPhone, smartphone kind of websites that are prettier and more advanced, but it's much more complex, and it will just overwhelm you, all the things that you can do there. So I will be covering that more in detail later, but for right now, I want to focus on what's going to make you money, and I'll tell you this, a pretty website doesn't increase the amount of money that you're going to make. It just doesn't. It will decrease the amount of platforms that it will work on. So if you have a decreased, you know, exposure, it can't help but decrease your revenue. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I read somewhere that the FCC law requires a double opt-in in regards to mobile opt-ins. If this is true, how would one accomplish this? You don't need to worry about it. Whatever system that you're using has taken care of that for you. If you're using the Stompercast system, or if you're using Mobilize Us, or if you're using the Aqua 360, or if you're using any other text messaging system out there, those systems would not be offered if they weren't, you know, compliant with the FCC regulations. In general, the way it works is that a person opts in then a text is sent to their mobile phone. The person has to then respond back to that text confirming that they want to opt in, and they do that from their mobile phone. And so that will meet the requirements. I will tell you that the requirements in mobile are much, much more stringent than on the web, and you just can't operate very long at all if you're not abiding by the rules. So you really don't need to worry about it. Okay. The only time you have to worry about it is if you're going out and purchasing or leasing, I should say, your own short codes. And you're not going to be doing that because those things can run like $1,000 a month. I mean, if you're, Procter & Gamble or, BP Oil, I probably shouldn't have mentioned them. But if you're a big company and you're going to want to get your own short code, literally the phone number people are calling into, then you have to set up your whole system and you have to take care of all that stuff. But for most people, that's just ridiculous. You don't need to do it. Okay. E-commerce sites drop stuff. Okay. Okay. For the question that came in about the service companies, that would be a good one to also post within the Stomper mobile forums. It's kind of a lengthy answer, but I'd be glad to answer it. Okay. I think, let's see, wait, one more here. Your webinars continue to provide excellent training in this pioneering field of marketing. We appreciate these presentations, which give us definitive marketing edge. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. So anyway, guys, it has been great tonight. We only covered 2 categories, but I'd like for you to focus on it. Here's what you should do. Go to MobiSite Galore or to your mobile web builder or to your mobile website and get your title tags good. All right, that's not a big deal. You probably have 6 pages, right? All right, but go in there and get your title tags good, where they're good keywords, all right? Then go over, grab the slideshow, which I will upload as a PDF in just a few minutes here. It'll be in the StomperNet portal within the next 10 or 15 minutes. Go over there and get that, and then just start from the beginning of the slides, okay, and then just click on each of the links that I've recommended and get your site registered. It will all go faster if you have your title, your description, your keywords, and your mobile site link, and your category, and all that stuff kind of all put together. If you have that, then you can just go through these one after another after another. Don't get too hung up in the fact that your site's not perfect yet, all right? As long as it's got some content on the page and it's got some keywords in the title, you're good to go. All right? Go ahead and get it in there. Over time, you can continue to improve and add to your site and make your pages better. But as you know, sometimes it can take time for these submit engines to find and get your site in there anyway. So just let's go ahead and get that going. All right? All right? Then just go through, do all of the links that I have here, and some of these links may lead you to more, and if you want to do further research, you can. But if you can just start trying to get them submitted to these, then you're going to be good to go. All right? And then the other thing is take the mobile call to action, give it a quick read-through so that stuff starts to burn its way into your brain, so to speak, but then start working your way through every touch point that you have with customers and prospects and clients and start to put mobile calls to action in your materials, mobilely, online, and offline. It's been a great week. I will see you next Tuesday at the same time. And if you have any questions or anything, please post those in the Stomper Mobile Forum. And I enjoyed the evening, and I hope you did as well. Thank you.